is Sky News Business, Australia's business channel.
Welcome back. Well, despite the debt crisis, Europe is still a very popular destination for Australian travellers, and the new agreement between Qantas and Emirates will make it even easier to get there. Instead of the kangaroo hop to Singapore and on to Heathrow, passengers will be able to change in Dubai and head directly to their choice of 30 cities across the continent. So what do you need to know when doing business in Europe these days? Well, to tell us more, we're joined now by Dietterich of 2M Language Services. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Tia, I did just want to ask you firstly, though, I mean, we all know about the GFC and the Euro debt crisis. Has that changed what it's like to do business in Europe compared to what it was like 5 years ago? I mean, you've just returned from Paris.
Yes, of course, the very big change is the record high Australian dollar, and very low at the same time we have a very low euro. So, which is good news, bad news for Australian exporters, very good news for Australian visitors. It has become very different to buy, but the big thing is a lot of Australian exporters find it too difficult to sell their products, so they have actually become importers, and that's a really big change. So we see this trend in Europe at the moment, that they change tactics where it is possible, that they turn into importers, because importing has become a lot cheaper now because your buying power with the Australian dollar goes a lot higher.
Okay. I guess down to the business of doing business, Europeans, as we understand, are very multilingual. Many of them have numerous languages. Do they all speak English now, or is that a bit of a misconception?
It depends where you go. Scandinavia, Holland, Germany, you will find a lot of English-speaking people. 20 years ago, it was a different thing. In France and in Spain, you were hard-pressed to find English. Today, this has changed. You will see, especially the young generation, people are speaking English pretty much everywhere in capital cities, different if you go to regional areas. And you know, they might recognize that you are not French and even speak English to you already. So it's especially if you stay in capital cities, you're pretty safe mostly with English.
As a tourist, you know, you're often told to try and speak a little bit of the language. I mean, is that important when it comes to doing business? You know, that you should try at least to have a go?
Absolutely. And let's look at that. The former German Chancellor, Willy Brandt, famously said, if I'm selling, I'm speaking English. If I'm buying, yeah, dann müssen Sie schon Deutsch sprechen. And really, this is the most important thing. So make a point to learn just a few phrases in each of the languages wherever you go. It's a conversation starter. It gets you in. It charms your guest, and you can get away with a lot of things.
Yeah, I guess the French have a bit of a reputation for being a bit disdainful of foreigners that don't speak French or don't speak it well. Is that still the case?
That has actually changed. They do have quite a reputation. But really, everyone who has been watching the last 10 years, 15 years, it is actually quite sexy to be a foreigner these days in France. It has really changed, especially, again, the young generation. They're very, very interested, and I think the attitude has changed. They do realize the visitors, business and tourism alike, we're actually adding value to the economy, and they need it at the moment. Back to the Euro crisis you mentioned in the beginning.
Okay. In terms of etiquette, I guess going through some of the different countries in Europe, in France, you know, is it important with your appearance, with what you wear, given, you know, the French have the reputation of, you know, caring so much about style?
Good question. There's a saying that says that a French woman spends as much time looking naturally unkempt than an Australian woman trying to look groomed or be groomed. Indeed, it is a classy lot, the French. Yeah. But, you know, in the end, really, be yourself, but of course properly dressed. You cannot be professionally, not overdressed, not too glamorous, nothing too amazing, but very classy.
Okay, and what about in other countries like Germany and Spain, Italy?
Well, look, I mean, being professionally dressed is in business really important, even though they do, you know, coming from Australia, you know, they all have a very charmed smile on their face, and they know how relaxed it is here. But we go to their country, so we should show respect.
And just finally, very quickly, obviously, kissing is one of those things. It's very common upon, especially in greeting in Italy, Spain and France. What are the rules around kissing when you're doing business?
There are actually apps like that on your iPhone. So if you go and just check culture in the App Store, there's a few different apps. Yes, it's complicated. You kiss twice. You kiss 3 times. You know, in Belgium it's 3 times. In France, in the Loire Valley, can be 3 times. Sometimes it's 4 times in other countries. In Italy, they start on their left. So what I suggest is you can make it a conversation starter. Be yourself and relax, first of all, and have fun with it. You know, let someone else guide you, and yeah, be curious, be yourself, and you will learn.
Some great tips there for doing business in Europe. Thank you so much, Tia.